Chapter 24 Subway Home. The subway train is nearly empty. Middle of the day, I think. Nobody wants to go to Brooklyn. I do, and I don't. 16 voice messages, 22 texts. My mom's mad. Ben shuts off his cell phone again. Do you think Sabine told? Probably, but she would have tried not to. Miss Garcia might have told the principal. It wasn't smart skipping school together. If it had just been me, she would have figured I was sick. Ben's shoulders sag. Still, I'm glad, Ben. Glad you were with me. I know. Both of us slump in our seats. You can hear the engine pulling, the wheels rattling on the tracks. I pull the brochure out of my hoodie. Ben reads with me. Terrorists crashed 2 planes into the Twin Towers. 2,753 people from over 90 nations were killed. Mainly Americans, I think, but just people. Humans. Oldest victim, 85. The youngest, 2. 403 were first responders. Who were first responders, Ben? Firefighters, New York and Port Authority police. Closing my eyes, I lean my head back. Ben does the same. 3 more stops, he says, then trouble. Not as bad as it could be. I think of the man who lost his daughter, how he remembered her whole life in his heart. I think of Pop. Memories, that's the difference. The footprints were horrible and beautiful. What if Pop only remembers horrible? Chapter 25 Pop. The subway train stops. Doors whisk open. Underground, it's another world. Shadowy, warmer than topside. Part of me wants to stay here. Ben and me shuffle forward and climb the steps. The sky gets bigger and bigger, the air colder. I see Dora and Pop standing side by side. Other than Ma, I've never seen Pop stand so close to someone. Dora runs forward. How could you, Ben? How could you? On her knees, she hugs him tight. Are you all right? Not hurt? Mom, the subway's safe. Ben's relieved. Dora's more worried than angry. Pop looks mad, all rigid and stark. At least he didn't call Ma. It would have been worse if she missed work. I walk up to Pop. I want to explain how I'm sorry, how I needed to go to the memorial, and how I'd do it again if it meant I'd understand him better. I say nothing, don't smile. I just look at Pop eye to eye. He lifts me off the ground, and I'm being held, crushed by the biggest hug. I feel warm. Pop's cheeks is soft on mine. He whispers, Deja, Deja. I feel good. Feet off the ground, I feel like I can fly. Pop sets me down. He nods at Dora. Ben waves, and they both turn toward the street. Thank you, Pop shouts. Thank you. I've never heard Pop say thank you, or much of anything to somebody other than family. Pop changed, and as if to prove it, he smiles. We'll talk when we get home. Chapter 26 The Talk. The shelter room is a mess. Beds unmade, our clothes in boxes, Ray and Letta's few toys abandoned on the floor. It's a wonder how 5 of us live here. Sitting on the double bed, Pop's suitcase between us, I can't breathe right. It feels like the room's getting smaller. There's no window to remind me there's an air outside. Pop's palms cup my hand. Your ma said I should have told you years ago, but I wanted to protect you. Didn't think you were old enough. Pop's being kind, but underneath his skin, I see his stress, a low panic in his muscles and bones. Brave. The word pops into my head. Pop's being brave. Now that I realize Pop's talking means more pain, I lie. I'm not old enough. Steam clicks on, the radiator pipes clang, and there's a hiss. Is that true? Seems like a girl who'd go to the... Pop swallows. He doesn't say the 9/11 memorial is old enough. What happened to you, Pop? You know what happened? Yeah, but what happened to you? Pop unsnaps the suitcase locks. A red and blue tie, 5 plastic bags, a photograph. His hands shake. He lifts the picture. Let's start with family first. 3 guys dressed in matching pants, shirts, and red and blue ties. All of them happy, their arms wrapped about each other. Lewis and Big Kelly, my coworkers, friends, Hernandez and O'Brien, and me, 15 years ago, so young and stupid, James Barnes. You're not stupid. Pop smiles slightly. Maybe not, but ever since that day, I feel stupid, helpless, angry. These were my friends, and I couldn't save them. Pop closes his eyes. His head sags. Your head hurt? I massage his head like Ray does. After a few minutes, Pop kisses my hands. Let me try and finish. I've been delaying telling this story for a long time. Quiet. I sit beside him. Pop stares at nothing, like he's staring into a void, deeper and darker than the memorial holes. His voice scratches with emotion. We were teasing Lewis. His wife just had a little girl, and Lewis couldn't stop talking about his mihia. Kelly kept teasing, kids are trouble, but Big Kelly and me were setting aside money each payday to buy a baby swing. You wind it up, and it plays music and rocks the baby. Ray and Letta never had such a swing. Did I? I don't remember it. I think we've always been poor. We've just gotten poorer. Like Pop's headaches have gotten worse. We were at the front desk, security team. We greeted visitors, signed for packages, important mail, and most of all welcomed the workers. Thousands of them. Each day they'd swipe their badges, and we'd say hello, good morning. Then later, after lunch, good afternoon. Then good evening. Ordinary stuff, but we all got to know those faces. Those people who worked with us in the North Tower. The sanitation workers, the computer analysts, finance folks, the restaurant team on the 106th and 107th floors. The building was like a small city, and me, Lewis, and Kelly were the day shift, the most important shift, welcoming everybody to work. Like a home. Yes, how did you know? You said family. In school we talk about social groups, how we form connections, relationships. Pop hugs me. You've got a fine school. I know. Friends too. I wouldn't want any of them hurt. Terrible for anyone to be hurt. Worse to remember faces. Each one special, different, unique. Funny how personalities fit faces. Or maybe it's faces that fit personalities. Like Sabine. She's so kind you can tell because her lips tilt up, ready to smile. And Ben, he wears these funny round glasses and hardly smiles, but there's a calm about his face. Calm but strong. I struggle with my words. Not like a bully strong, a safe strong, even though he isn't big at all. I know what you mean. Big Kelly was ever so gentle. Lewis was just average size, but he carried himself like a bear. That's how he was that day. Strong. Protective. I slip my hand into Pop's. Pop strokes my hair and kisses me right on the nose like he sometimes does with Letta. Funny, this moment I feel safe. I worked the North Tower for 5 years, knew everybody and everybody knew me. 40 hours a week for 52 weeks a year for 5 years adds up to 10,400 hours. You get to know folks. Pop chuckles. Me, Lewis, and Kelly made a big to-do about new hires. telling them how the elevators whizzed like lightning, how the buildings swayed in fierce winds, how the best hot dog bought a block away, how working in the towers meant you made it to the center of New York, the center of the world. Pop swallows, trembles. His face looks like he's walking in from a nightmare. I should have told you years ago, Deja. I've been too terrified. I still see, feel, hear, smell every last bit of it. When I close my eyes, when I sleep and dream, when I see a clear blue sky. That day, the day of the attack, was the clearest day I'd ever seen in New York. Perfect, blue, a day so beautiful it promised nothing but bad would happen. He pulls out the bags one by one. This is my name tag. This is my walkie-talkie. On this, I heard Lewis and Kelly's call for help. See, the building shook. Bam, bang. I didn't know then that a plane had hit it. Only heard emergency distress calls. Lewis and Kelly took the elevator. I told them no, too dangerous. But the building was over 100 floors and they wanted to race to help. Be where they were needed most. I don't know if they ever made it off the elevator, ever got to the firestorm, if the elevator doors opened in desperation, or if they were trapped. Elevator shut down. Elbows on his knees, Pop cries. I wrap my arms around his waist, and I lay my head on his back. You see, Deja, I don't know exactly what happened, but I imagine. Imagining makes my head ache, explode, pow. This is my flashlight. He takes the dirty, cracked light out of the plastic bag. I grabbed it and headed for the stairwell. It was filled with smoke and dust falling like water down the stairs and over the rails. Fire. You could smell it. Even if it was a dozen stories up, the air stank. Folks were rushing down. I recognized them. Even faces twisted with fear, I recognized every one of them. I was scared, Deja. The building kept moaning, chattering its pain. Then electrical power went. Battery-powered lights switched on. Folks were scared but still trying to be nice, helping others. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10 flights of stairs. I was exhausted. Lungs aching. Still, folks coming down, sounding like an elephant herd. 2 men were carrying a man in a wheelchair. Coughing, I held my jacket over my mouth. Where was I going? What did I expect to do? I don't know. I just kept thinking I should be running up to help, not out. Finding coworkers. My work family. I kept going up and up. The handrail was warming. Closer to the top, the metal rail burned my hands. Then the firemen. Oh my word. So wonderful, Deja. Racing, carrying 65 pounds of equipment, moving like warriors. A few helmet lights crisscrossed in the stairwell. A captain kept shouting, "Stay calm, everybody down, we'll put out the fire." I recognized police, Port Authority police too. I wanted to help them, be as brave as them. Everybody was escaping, and they were going up. 12 floors. Folks were more slowly coming down. Smudges, dirt in their hair, small burns. You could tell they were disoriented, traumatized. Firemen and police kept stepping faster and faster, like they didn't need to breathe. Like they were Superman, Iron Man, Captain America. Mrs. Abel from a accounting firm on the 37th floor fell against me. I staggered. I knew it was her. She always wore hats, no matter what. Church hats, I called them. Like any second she was going to sing gospel. "James, I can't move. Too scared. Help me down, James. Help an old lady down." Mrs. Abel's eyes were wild. She clutched my shirt. "It's bad up there. Bad." Then Mrs. Abel's hat got knocked off, spinning down the stairwell. She wailed, "My hat, my hat!" And I knew her hat covered thinning hair. How it'd be a crown to make her not feel so old. The building whined. Inside, it felt like there was an earthquake shaking the foundation, the walls, windows, and ceilings. "Take me down, please, James." My flashlight shone on floating ash. It was petrifying trying to move frail Mrs. Abel, feeling the press of bodies pushing down, the responders pushing up. My arms protected her some. Inch down, inch down. Pop looks up toward the ceiling. "Did you know, Deja? Stretching, steel, shrieks, clangs, and joints shift. Something told me the tower was dying." "Come on, Mrs. Abel, we've got to move. Faster, come on." She was trembling and crying. I picked her up, held her like a baby girl. Down, down, down. We squeezed down in a crunch of people, 2 steps, 1 step, trying to get to the first floor. There was a massive shudder. My arms and back got bruised. There was no sound. People, yes, screaming, complaining, but the building seemed to be still. Hush. For half a second it hit me. We're going to die. I don't understand. Neither do I, but there was a silence before the worst hit. Before the storm. Whatever it was. Floor 3. We'd made it to 3 when there was a rush and a roar like a train barreling down a track. You could hear screams high above, clashes, clangs, explosions, concrete bursting, windows breaking. I started running, and I ran, keeping Mrs. Abel close to my heart. She was crying like a baby, and I kept saying, "Hush, it's all right," when I wanted to scream my mind and heart out. The tower was collapsing. We had barely made it out alive. Smoke, rock, and ash were everywhere. "Pop, I'm so sorry." He picks up another plastic bag. My wallet, so dirty even though it was in my pocket. Pop hugs me and whispering in my ear, "People's belongings flew everywhere." He pulls back, taking the bag from the suitcase. I got Mrs. Abel to an ambulance. Both towers down, just gone. Crippling smoke, pulverized concrete. This bag, he holds it high, holds some of the dust. Ashes, too. "Why do you keep it?" "Reminds me it's inside me, what's inflaming my lungs." "That's why you cough?" I didn't know Pop had a real reason to be sick. "It reminds me, too, of how worthless I am. How I couldn't protect my work family, not then. How I can't protect my family now. Look at this place." I do. It's sad looking. On the floor, Ray has some blocks stacked high. Amazing they haven't been knocked down. I can't believe Letta left her pink pacifier on the bed. Ma nailed a blanket to the wall to cover cracks. Eyes closed, elbows on knees, Pop wheezes. "I think you're a hero, Pop. If Mrs. Abel were here, what do you think she'd say?" Pop opens one eye and looks at me. Then he opens the other. "How much family do you think Mrs. Abel has? How many folks did you make happy? Children, grandchildren, sisters, uncles. Without you, there wouldn't be our family. Ma would have married someone different, and it wouldn't be the same." "Better." "How can you say that? I'm Deja, the original, one and only. You're my brave Pop." Then I give him kisses like he used to give me kisses. Hundreds of them, all over his face, his brow, eyelids, and nose. Kisses so fast and furious, all Pop can do is laugh and laugh some more. "Pop?" I hesitate. I don't want to make him feel worse, but I have to know. Pop was there. Why do they hate us? The terrorists. I don't know. I've been wrestling with why. The World Trade Center was America's financial engine, the American dream. Pop rasps. Because of the terrorists, I've lost it. Can't hold a job, even when my cough is better. Closed spaces, blue skies, make me anxious. That can't be all of it. I mean, innocent people died. Families, relationships were broken and destroyed. Pop strokes my hair. I think the terrorists don't understand that. If they did, they couldn't hurt innocent people. I want to fall on the bed and cry and cry. I've never should have been angry at Pop. 6 weeks at a new school has changed everything. School didn't teach me everything about 9/11. Still, I understand a lot more now. I understand some of the enormous hurt to my family, and country. Pop, I don't think it's just jobs and money. I think maybe the terrorists hate us because we believe in freedom. For everybody. Freedom to be who you are and have different religions. Isn't that why folks immigrate? That's what makes our society a family, America, home. Even though we're all different, we're the same, Americans. Pop's eyes brighten. You must be the smartest girl in your class. No, Pop. There's lots of smart kids. But I'm learning. The skyline. Manhattan's skyline has changed. You should see the September 11th memorial, Pop. Take me inside the 9/11 Memorial Museum. We should see it together. Chapter 27. The End. What Doesn't Ever Change by Deja Barnes. Skylines can change. Where you live can change. Even people change. Pop's new doctors gave him the right medicine, and at night we walk to the river, sit on a bench, and talk. Pa says it helps him feel better. Me too. Next year, I'll be in the 6th grade. Letta stopped using her pacifier and pull-ups. Ray loves school. One day, he'll be taller than me. Everyone is changing. Ma is happier. We're moving to a suburbized apartment. It'll be better than Avalon. Not great, but better. Some things never change. Family, friends, relationships, connections between people are always important. America's one big family, one big home. When the towers fell, I think everybody did their best to help and be strong, like Pop. Some died. Some got wounds you can see. Some got wounds you couldn't, like Ben's. Pop's, like mine. Ben's Pop came to New York for our field trip. One day Ben's going to take me to Arizona to meet his horse. I know this is not being focused, but I'm adding anyway. It's important. It means something like my family, eating at Sabine's house. I just don't know how to say it right. Though it's horrible, I'm glad I know about 9/11. It's history, just like the past history, going all the way back to America's birthday, July 4th, 1776. America has changed and not changed. American values are part of my present, of Pop's, of Sabine's, of everyone's. Miss Garcia had nightmares for months after 9/11. She says people helping people made her feel better, feel safe again, strong. American values are part of my future too. I love my American home. We are a family. Not perfect, not all, the same. Some rich, some poor, all kinds of religions and skin colors. Some born in America and some immigrating here. It's the 15th anniversary of 9/11. Americans believe in freedom. 240 years as a nation, and this belief hasn't changed. For Deja.